Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks for today. We're talking Thursday, November 13th. Happy Thursday, everybody. The Splash Zone is back in your life. We got a small 3-game slate for today, so I'm going to have 3 plays for you guys to lock in. We're back in 1 first quarter prop. We're back in 1 assist prop and 1 point prop is how we are playing today. Before I get into that, we do have to do a recap from yesterday, which sucked. No other way around it other than to say it sucked. I only got 1 of my 5 plays to cash. Thank you to Reed Shepard for saving us on the full fade. Jaime Jaquez Jr. didn't score, got in foul trouble, just a bad game. Con Knipple missed the nipple man, started hot, ended cold, ended up scoring 16 points and missed like 2 of his last 8 shots or something like that. So really just a tough end. Luka, first quarter king, supposed to be the free square. Didn't shoot well in the first quarter, went under. Jaylen Brown didn't take a ton of shots. The whole Celtics team went off, but it just wasn't Jaylen Brown. So just a lot of bad reads yesterday. It was a really, really tough day. That's kind of just been the nature of this NBA season. It's, started off bad, started to get good, went down. It's just been a very bumpy road. It's been a roller coaster ride, except it started down instead of up. That's how this has gone. So it's just been very, very frustrating trying to get some sustained success. Every time I feel like we are turning a corner, we have a day like yesterday, and that now makes it 3 days in a row that have been in the red, which came after being profitable in 4 of 5 days. So it just kind of give you the tail of the season of how it's gone. So down 8.5 units on the year. Last year was good. 2 years ago was good. Just haven't been able to recapture that magic yet. Need to switch up some strategies. Maybe the books are adjusting, whatever you want to call it. It just hasn't really gone well at all. But I remain confident. There's at least enough sustained success with the NBA that eventually we'll figure it out. It's just been a tough start. And last year was a tough start as well. Eventually we were able to figure it out. But we can get into it. So I'm going to use Props Madness to help me with my plays here. The first game, Raptors versus Cavs. It's a weird game. The Cavaliers are on the second half of a back-to-back. But yesterday they sat Mitchell, Mobley, and Garland. So my guess is that those 3 guys are going to play today because they all sat with injury management. It wasn't like they had real injuries that caused them to sit. And the play that I like for this one is Evan Mobley. So I'm taking him 20 plus points. It was minus 103 at DraftKings when I sent this out to my Tails account in the morning. Got moved to minus 111. I would still take it at that price at minus 111 for Evan Mobley. I'm good with that. If you really want to get nasty with the odds, minus 135 over 18.5, but I definitely don't recommend doing that. So I would stick with the DraftKings price. But I really like this one. So I'm expecting him to play right off the bat. He's listed as out. That's because of yesterday, and the injury report has not updated yet. So this is all, all that the website has to pull is based off of yesterday. Now, in terms of his averages, 19.5 is right on his average, right? 6 of 11 games, averaging 20 points per game. So it's not like this is a bad line or anything like that. There's a couple of reasons why I like this play. Number one is the matchup, and I do like this matchup a lot against the Raptors. For starters, they have allowed the 4th most points per game to power forwards. Now, positions can kind of be nebulous because there are some guys that are power forwards that are actually more like small forwards. There are some power forwards like Karl Anthony Towns or Anthony Davis that are more like centers. Evan Mobley is a strict power forward. Like he's not a small forward and he's not a center at this point in his career. So I do think that positional definition applies to him pretty well. And it makes sense why the Raptors are a good matchup for power forwards because they give up the 3rd most points per game in the restricted area. Now, this also applies to Jarrett Allen. So you could say it's a good matchup for Jarrett Allen, which it is as well. I like rolling with Evan Mobley, mostly because he missed yesterday and Jarrett Allen did end up playing. But they allow the 3rd most points per game in the restricted area. They allow the 6th most points per game via spot up, which is where Evan Mobley scores the majority of his points. They foul at a pretty high rate, which is where he gets another decent amount of his points from. Now, they're good in transition, and they're good guarding the pick and roll ball handler. So he's not going to get anything running the floor, and he's not going to get anything running the pick and roll, which this is more of a Donovan Mitchell stat than it is Evan Mobley. So I'm not really scared off of that. But they're like slightly below average guarding the pick and roll man. They're bad guarding the post up, which would be a favor in terms of Jarrett Allen, but he doesn't post up a lot, right? You see him, it's not even part of his play type. So it doesn't really apply to that type of big man. But you look at Evan Mobley, when he goes against teams that can't guard the restricted area, that's when he has the most success. And this is a cool feature of Props Madness is that you can go to advanced filters, click opponent rank versus DSZ, which is just ranking them versus the shot zone in which he scores the majority of his points, which you see right here is the restricted area. All I'm going to do is take out the bad matchups. So let's say, how does he perform against teams that are not in the top 10 guarding the restricted area? He's gone over in 6 of 9. That's very nice. 6 of 9 games. Even if you want to go further than that, all right, how about teams out of the top half? So teams only in the bottom half in terms of guarding the restricted area, so 16 to 30. Guess what? 5 of 7 games he has gone over. Now, one of these games was against the Raptors. Now, Donovan Mitchell didn't play in this game, so maybe he's not going to put up 17 shots like he did in this game. Maybe he only puts up 14. Instead of scoring 29 points, he scores 22. So I like this one a lot for Evan Mobley. That's our first play. Next up, I don't have anything here in Pacers Suns. I can kind of walk you through what my leans would be in that game, but it's just a tough game, in my opinion, to look at. I do have 2 in this Hawks versus Jazz. They're actually both backing Jazz players. The first one is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You know, the first quarter market hasn't been kind to us, but in my defense, not even in my defense, but nothing has been kind to us. So just got to kind of get the looks better. But I'm going with him on the first quarter over 3.5. It's -115 at Bet365, and it's -120 at Hard Rock. If you can't use either of those 2 books, I would wait until more books give out odds for this, because I'm not touching 5.5 at DraftKings. That's ridiculous. The 3.5 number, he scored 4 more points in the first quarter in 9 out of 10 games this year. He's only missed it one time. Just didn't shoot well. 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from deep. Every other game, he's gone over. And sometimes he's scoring exactly 4, which you see that does seem to be a pretty key number, which makes sense. 2 buckets get you 4. The last 2 games for him have been good, which admittedly is a little bit scary, but, you know, fading recent results, backing recent results, none of that stuff has really helped. Yesterday, I did not fade recent results. I did the opposite of that. I backed them and I got burned. But I've had days where fading also got burned. So it's kind of one way or the other. But the matchup against the Jazz is pretty good. They're a pretty soft defense. Defensive rating 6th worst. One thing in favor of Nickeil Alexander-Walker is the Jazz allow the second most catch and shoot 3-point attempts in the entire NBA. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker takes the most catch and shoot threes on the Hawks. Now you're asking, why don't you take his 3-point prop? I don't really think the value is there. It's at 2.5. He's a 1.5 3-point kind of guy. I know he's made 3 or more in 4 of 10 games, which isn't terrible, but it's really just the volume isn't there for me to trust that he's going to make 3. Took 4 3-pointers yesterday, 6 3-pointers, 5 3-pointers. If we're asking him to go 3 of 4, 3 of 5, 3 of 6, to me that's not something that's going to work out game over game. And then from the play types perspective, it's average. You know, they're average in transition, average guarding the pick and roll ball handler. The biggest thing for him is spot up, right? That's where he scores a quarter of his points. That's where the Jazz defense is weak, guarding spot up shooters, which is why they're such a good matchup for catch and shoot 3-point attempts, because they give up a lot via spot up. And you see similar players to Nickeil Alexander-Walker have success against the Jazz, right? We see 6 of 7 guys have gone over by an average of 3 points above what their over-under is priced at. Now you're asking, why are we going the first quarter? Well, just let the numbers tell you. His over-under, 17.5, he's hit that in 5 of 10 games. His first quarter of 3.5, he's hit that in 9 of 10 games. Some guys just start better. And if you think about it, we're getting him at 3.5. There's 4 quarters. So he needs to score 4 points to go over. 4 times 4 is 16. His full game point prop is priced at 2 points above that at 17.5. So the value here from a math perspective, from a hit rate perspective, is just on him in the first quarter. And it's not like he barely plays. He plays about 7.5 minutes in the first quarter. You look at games without Trae Young, and slightly more, but not really that much more. 7.6 to 7.8, so barely more. But it's the value here on him is in the first quarter. So that is our second play. Next up, we're going with another player on the Hawks. This time we're going with Dyson Daniels, and we're taking him on the assists. So we're going over, we're going to 8+ assists for Dyson Daniels. That's at +135 at Hard Rock or +128 at FanDuel, which I would still take. You see here without Trae Young, he's hit it in 4 of 7 games. All 4 times he's gone over, he's had exactly 8. Now he's done it in 4 games in a row, which is admittedly a little bit scary. But we don't have potential assist data from yesterday. But the potential assists are not terrible. We had 13, 8 of 13 is fine. This game is crazy. We'll talk about this one in more detail, but he had 24 and then 8 of 16. So, the potential assists are not bad. These games, obviously not so good. Granted, the Magic are a really, really tough assist matchup, as are the Cavs, as are the Pacers. So you can kind of forgive him for that. But the matchup against the Jazz is really good for assists. They've allowed, just right off the bat, the 4th most assists per game in the entire NBA. That's all assists, not position specific. Now, technically, Dyson Daniels is listed as a guard forward. He's kind of taken over the point guard role for the Hawks with Trae Young out. Like, we're looking at the last 7 games here, which is how many games that Trae Young has missed. We're looking, obviously, at the Atlanta Hawks. He leads the team in passes made. He leads the team in assists. He leads the team in potential assists. He leads the team in anything assist related, passing related. Dyson Daniels leads the team with Jalen Johnson as a close second. The Jazz, to lead ball handlers, are a good matchup for assists. You look at them here, and this has been the case for the last 3 years, basically. This version of the Jazz has always been a good assist matchup. And you can see right here, looking at point guard assists allowed, 6th most, tied with the Wizards for the 6th most. There are a couple teams above them, but they're a good matchup for assist props. And I think we're going to get a value here. My guess is that Jalen Johnson ends up sitting. That is my official prediction here. He has yet to play on the second half of a back-to-back this year. And that's exactly what happened. The Hawks played yesterday. He played 24 minutes. So it's not like he played a ton, but he has yet to play on the second half of a back-to-back. You look at Dyson Daniels, he has played on the second half of a back-to-back. And you look at games in which he has played without Trae Young and without Jalen Johnson, it's only been 1 game. So take that with a grain of salt. 13 assists on more important, 24 potential assists, played 36 minutes. And this was the second half of a back-to-back. So he's going to play heavy minutes tonight. So my guess, Jalen Johnson ended the year hurt last year. They're going to want to be safe with him. So I think he ends up sitting. Even if he doesn't, he could still go. Dyson Daniels could still go over this number because he's done that 4 straight games, and Jalen Johnson played in 3 of those 4. So I like the matchup. I like the situation for him to go over, and that's what we got. So those are the 3 plays that we're rocking with today. Evan Mobley, 20+ points. Now this line moved. I locked it in at -103. It's now -111. I'm still good there. Nickeil Alexander-Walker over 3.5 first quarter points, and Dyson Daniels 8+ assists. Let's hope we have a good day today. In terms of leans, I mentioned that I'll give you guys some. You could also go right back to, not right back. You could go to Jared Allen in this game. He's been really good. It's also a good matchup for him, along with Evan Mobley. But again, the fact that he played yesterday, granted 27 minutes isn't crazy, but my guess is that he will play tonight. But because these 3 guys missed, I think they're going to play, and I think it's a little bit better for Evan Mobley. The game that I avoided, this Pacers-Suns game, I really don't know what to do with this one. And I really don't know what to do with Devin Booker. It's a decent matchup for him. The Pacers allow a good amount of points specifically to point guards, 2nd most according to Props Madness, and according to this website, #NBA, the 3rd most. So regardless, they're a good matchup. But it's been weird for Devin Booker. Like, he scored 30+ points in 6 of his first 8 games, right? 30+ points in 6 of his first 8. Has missed it in 4 straight. Hasn't really even come close in these 4 straight. But then you look at his first quarter, it's the exact opposite. He missed it in the first 5, and then he's cashed it in 6 of 7 since. So it's like, as he started hotter, his full game has gone down. So I'm not touching him in the first quarter, and I'm not touching him in the full game. The assist, I actually kind of like the under for him, but the odds are stinky. I'm not touching any of these prices. The Pacers have always been a tough matchup for assists. They allow like this 8th fewest assists. They're middle of the pack in terms of assist to point guards, but it's just the way that they play defense. They're not a heavy assist team. So it's really just a no touch. And then on the Pacers side, they got TJ McConnell back. Everybody else is still hurt. I wanted to take the under for Andrew Nembhard because it's a tough matchup. Like, they don't give up anything to the pick and roll ball handler. Free throws, sure, maybe he'll get to the line a little bit, but transition, they don't give up anything. The reason why I didn't end up playing him, his over-under 16.5. The prices, I mean, -106 at DK is not terrible, but you look at his last, so you take out this game because he got hurt in this game, right? His 3 games since he returned from injury, 20 shots, 16 shots, 15 shots. He's gone over in 2 of 3. So even though the matchup is not good, he might get there alone from a volume perspective if he's taken 16 to 20 shots. So I just don't think the value's there. Siakam on the points is always a good look, but again, it's a tough matchup for him as well. I mean, like the 3 of his top 4 play types, they're a good defense. The other one, they're average. And then the next one, they're still below average. So tough game for me to decide what to do. TJ McConnell played 1 game, played 11 minutes, took 12 shots in 11 minutes. His over-under is 9.5. So he could be a good look, but a tough matchup for him as well, which just ended up being a no touch for me. So I'm just rocking with these 3. Got our ass kicked yesterday. Let's hope we have a better day today. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a good one.